All right, folks, we're back with another video. Ladies and gentlemen, although, as it's been put to me by some of my friends, mostly gentlemen likely watching the show, we're back with another Sim Series video as I hit one that doesn't register with the Sim. Welcome to the round. We're here at beautiful Beaver Hills Country Club. This one's a made-up course, unless someone's played at a Beaver Hills Country Club and can confirm that this is a real course. To me, it's at least not a course in the Chicagoland area. But it's beautiful, it's nice, it's got big greens, and it's good for this 6-club bag that I've got going on at the work simulator. So first drive, I mean, it couldn't be more down the middle. That's position A. I mean, I even put it on the half of the fairway than I wanted to. So I've got 96 yards left, just a little sawed-off pitching wedge here. Just aiming middle of the green. I know it's going to be a cut pitching wedge. I'm incapable with the way these shafts are flexible to even try to hit a draw. So I'm just going to accept my fate. Little baby fade. I need it to go, and it takes a nice big bounce off that front fairway for me and catapults forward to about pin high and about 15 feet for my birdie. So really happy with this start. I mean, I'm really confident in this moment with my swing at the Sim. You know, you can adapt to the clubs. It might not be a good thing for my game long term to adapt to these clubs, but I am. I've got to turn these grid lines back on because it's a shared space, and sometimes people turn off these grid lines, but I think it's okay to have them on at the Sim because you can't exactly get down there and see the contours by just bending down and looking at the green. So I think it's okay to have them on. Although it doesn't do enough with that putt because I left it short. So I will take a par, though. I'm happy with how that ended up. And here we go to hole 2, this par 5. I wouldn't call it, it's 511 yards, but I think it bakes in the full 90-degree dog leg you're seeing there. It's really plays less than that. As I take this helicopter swing, I realize I'm trying to cut the corner, but I think, the top of the golf club with the ball. It slides right underneath me. It's probably the worst driver swing as I point at the top of the driver where that hit. Probably the worst driver swing ever. Almost 5,000 RPMs of backspin, 139 mile per hour ball speed, launch angle of 20.5 degrees. Yeah, that's probably about, I don't know, a 6 iron, the equivalent. So now I've got 260 and I've got this 5-wood. I'm just trying to hit a nice cut around everything, over some of the trees, try to put it close. And I hit it off the center of the face. It squeaks through the trees. It's flying. I realize I caught it great. And I get a big forward bounce, and it's on the green, and I am fired up. I have an eagle putt. I haven't had an eagle putt on this Sim, I think, ever. So episode 3 of the Sim series, I think, what would that be, 20th hole of the Sim series, first eagle putt. I've got a little less than 30 feet up the hill this time, right to left, and I give it a really nice effort. I give it a chance at the hole, and I'm really happy with that. It's a gimme birdie. Anytime you've got a gimme birdie, you are a happy camper, and I'm a happy camper. So fired up about that one. Off to the third at 1 under par, 380 yards. Got to deal with the new tee again, and I've got to deal with the swing thoughts of, can I make contact with the driver this time, and can I hit a little draw with it, which is a challenge mentally with the regular or even maybe senior flex shaft. And I get maybe the faintest, slightest draw here. It just bounces right through the fairway, and I'm a little bit worried that I'm in jail with the trees, so I don't really know until I get this look here that I've got a wide open look at the green. In fact, I've got a great angle, especially that I don't actually have a lie in the rough, given that everything at the Sim is a perfect lie with no wind, so that's another advantage to offset the lack of clubs in that bag. So 101 yards, just a little baby pitching wedge that I just try to ease up there, but I still just don't know my own strength sometimes with the pitching wedge. I got to get a better set of hands on me. So, but I am on the green, and for the 9,842nd time in only 21 holes, I have a 30-footer downhill. So at least this one's for birdie. I've had a lot for par, but my goal with these is just to get inside of that gimme circle, gimme range, and this one's got a chance to go in. I start raising the putter, but I come up about 6 inches short. That's as good as I'm going to get from that range. I'm not upset with that. I got a sly grin on my face as I go to the 4th hole. Long par 3, 197 yards. That's not a club that I have in this bag, so I decide I'm going with the 5 wood, which you just saw me hit 250 yards on the last hole. So another delicate shot that I've got to try to make here, a nice cut, helicopter finish type cut. That's really the feel that I'm focused on for hitting cuts, is just trying not to clear the hands and just leave the wrists open. But I just start this one out too far left. I had the right distance and then the right feel for that shot, but it may not have even held the green had I taken that at the flag. That's just a really hard shot. So glad that this is a pretty straightforward chip, even with the pitching wedge. It is short, so it's delicate, but if I can make good contact, get low, keep that face wide open like I'm trying to do, you'll see that if I'm able to pop this up, it's going to be pretty good. And that's as good a contact as I can make. It rolls out to about 4 feet inside of the gimme range, and I twirl the club. I'm fired up for that one. I'm getting a little confident in my game. You don't want to see me when I'm confident. And here we go. We are off, baby. Hole 5, dogleg right. You'll see that there's some water if you really just dink it to the right. So you kind of want to avoid doing that. I'm lined up. I'm feeling good over the ball. I give it a good whack, and it doesn't register. It's this tee. This tee is new, and it's nice, and it's clear that the building's been listening to complaints about the horrible old one. However, the horrible old one would at least work when you put the ball down. And you'll see my struggle right now if I have to basically press the ball down to even half hope it registers. So that's what I did. Finally gets there. I have to, it's almost the equivalent of waiting on the tee box at your local muni, which I despise. I like these 30-minute rounds you can get at the sim. And I hit a really nice one. The only issue is it's, may not hold the fairway. It just takes a really hard bounce, but I'm really happy with that, even if it's in the first cut. So 134 yards in, you'll see I've got maybe a little bit of tree trouble up the left, but it's a little bit deceptive with these sims, at least this Foresight Sports sim, because with the pitching wedge, a high lofted club, that's a little bit further out there than you think. I can get it up and over, and that's what happens. It's really, it wasn't that much in play, but the P wedge, again, goes long. I hit it 141, I think, on the fly, which I cannot, I think, physically do with my usual pitching wedge, my Apex Pro blade pitching wedge, which, I don't know, it's probably obnoxious of me to use blades and probably not the club that I should be using, but they're fun to hit. Another 30-footer downhill, my record 10,000th 30-footer downhill in this series, and I'm hoping on the edge of gimme range, but look at that distance to the pin. I'm about to point it out. 6 feet on the nose. It's supposed to register if you're at 6 foot, but it's got to be 6 feet 0 inches, but maybe a millimeter over that limit. So I'm mad. I got to get this one home. I'll be pissed if I miss it, and luckily goes in the left half and curls home. I'll take the fist pump. I'll take a par at 5, and we're off to 6. And it's a longer par 4. 430, this is one that it goes left. This is one that would historically give me trouble when I was in the championship round of my tournament last year, the mighty, world-famous CDGA Mid-Am at Kemper Lakes, home of the, I believe, 1989 PGA Championship, where Payne Stewart won his first major, or not for, was it his first major? It might have been. Someone will have to fact-check me, but it was Payne Stewart's PGA Championship at Kemper Lakes. I got a chance to play there. It was awesome, but my point is those fairway bunkers in the landing zone killed me. I wasn't driving it all that poorly, but I just wasn't hitting the middle of the fairway, and it would run off into those bunkers. So that's the situation I'm facing here. That's the thought that's running through my brain, and you'll see instead of that cut that I want, I get the draw starting on that line. So it's a little bit of a double-cross line. I'm hoping it squirts through, but I'm worried I'm in jail. But I think I got lucky again. You'll see I got that similar 130-something yard distance. This time it's 138. I've got that distance a bunch of times today. And you'll see, okay, I'm getting more confident. I think I can, get it underneath this first tree and get it over that next tree. And, with that, I'm going down 11 feet, so get it up and through. That was more luck than anything. It allowed me to get through that tree, but I hit it 147 yards with the pitching wedge. It's so far that I had to check if I had used that 9-iron again, like in the last video. But I just hit it too hard, I guess. That's, I got to ease up on the pitching wedge. I guess it goes 150 yards now, which is kind of BS, but whatever. Got 15 yards left. Got to hit a similar one to last hole, or the last time I used this pitching wedge from that distance. And it better be inside of it. and it's a gimme from exactly 6 feet. The sim gods giveth, the sim gods taketh away. That's another par. We're on to the 7th hole. I am cooking, and I know I'm cooking, and I'm getting confident. I lick my lips seeing that it's a par 5 coming up, and I'm settling over this ball thinking, oh boy, if I can take it right, if I just don't pull this left, the possibilities are endless. And I hit a really, really nice one, and I'm feeling good because it squirts just out of the rough. You know, I didn't catch all of it. It went under 270 yards, so, you know, wasn't pounded, but it's out there. It's 247. That's perfect for the 5-wood. I could probably go over those trees in front of me, but I'm thinking in real life, I'm hitting a 3-wood from here. The 3-wood can't get over these trees. I'm going to try to go against everything and hit that draw, which you'll see me trying to emulate in that practice swing. Lining up for it, I'm just going to try to take it around it. You'll see that swing, but it really stays straight, but it's fine because it doesn't go into the creek. That's actually a perfectly fine leave on this par 5. 28 yards left, plenty of green to work with, just a wide open shot. Just got to land it probably 5 feet to the right of the hole, and about a third of the way onto the green is the goal. It's rolling uphill, so I'm not going to get a ton of release. And this time I landed it just short of where I wanted it to be. I was okay with how high up I landed it, but just didn't have enough on it. But a pitching wedge pitch/chip-ish shot. That's an okay to about 13 feet. You have that for birdie when you're already 1 under par. I'm happy with that. But I've got a legitimate chance to knock this down. It's pretty flat other than right to left, but I just don't give it enough in terms of the elevation. I think it might have been a little bit more uphill than I thought. So I think this is hole 8 with a par at 7. I'm still 1 under. I can still survive, but this is 144 yards. Again, I'm a little bit in between clubs, but I realize how hard I'm hitting the P wedge today. So that's what I end up going with. And I'm like, it's leaking a little bit, it's fading a little bit, but luckily I started it far enough out left. I'm able to put it right in the middle of the green. I'm able to leave myself an uphill 25-footer this time. So anytime I'm inside of 25 feet for birdie, I'm a happy guy. So I'm rolling. I've just got to roll the rock. It's pretty hard left to right. So I just want to lag it down there. If it goes in, it goes in. If not, just cozy it up there. And I cozy it up there. That's, not the world's greatest effort. It's not the most inspiring putt in the world, but it's another gimme, and it's another par, and we're still 1 under, heading into the final hole of this 9, which is a 400-yard dogleg right par 4. Really, the key to this one is just keeping it straight. There's trees down both sides, and intimidating tee shot, which is blind because of this shrub thing. And I hit a really bad, kind of leaky, squeaky, heely, gross shot that trickles into that bunker. It went, a little under 270. So again, not my best. There's a lot of spin on that. You'll see my backspin's over 3,000 RPMs. My best swings have been closer to 25, 2,600 with this driver that have gotten the most distance. You want it to knuckle a little bit in the air when you can't swing as hard with these flexible shafts. So I'm left with 125 in from this bunker, and I try to save it at the end with that cut. I realized that I didn't activate that lower body, and you'll see that's why I fly too far, and I got about 50 feet this time. Just a bad swing. I didn't get the body through, just carried those arms through, didn't get the cut. So that's what happens when you have to try to hit some delicate numbers, but still have a putt for birdie. I've got it a little bit. It's pretty flat at first, then back down the hill and way left to right. But I just don't give it enough thunder, and I leave it way short. So 13 and a half feet for my par, and to break par on the front 9, which would be a nice achievement and a nice confidence boost for me and hopefully for this channel. But let's see if I can get it down. To stay at 1 under and just I give it a little too much. At least I gave it a chance, a gimme, and that's a bogey, and that's even par for that front 9. I'm okay with it. Stay tuned for the back 9.